What is up, ladies and gents? You know what time of day it is. It's XCN time, and in today's video we're going to be talking all about XCN. We're going to be discussing what we are seeing here on the charts, and I'll be giving you guys my price prediction for XCN over the coming days, as well as my targets for 2025. So be sure to stay tuned for all of that. Of course, if you are a new viewer, then welcome to this channel. If you do like this sort of content, hit the like button and subscribe for more. If you are a returning viewer, as always, welcome back to this channel. It's great to see you all here. So we're diving straight into this video, and we're just going to start off with the shorter term price action and predictions here for XCN. So on the 1 hour chart on XCN, we can see that basically over the past 24 hours, it looks like XCN has come alive. We've had this really nice pump that took XCN from roughly 1.6 cents there at the low all the way to 2.4 cents. And of course, what we've seen over the past few hours is a little bit of a retracement here on XCN, though nothing to be worried about, because generally, as you can see in the top right here, after a massive pump in the whole crypto markets, we have just generally seen a little bit of a sell-off throughout crypto as well. So nothing to be alarmed about. In fact, what I'm seeing right now here on XCN, in my opinion, is still extremely bullish. So of course, the first thing to discuss is this price pump that we had. And basically, the reason for that pump in the first place was this price pattern that we monitored yesterday. Of course, this here is a double bottom pattern for the fact that the prices came down to this 1.65 cents level on two separate occasions. The prices after the first bottom went up to this level here at 1.95 cents, which formed the resistance, as you can see. Once we got a breakout from this resistance, we were monitoring this as the potential price target. And of course, that price target stems from the distance between the support to the resistance of this double bottom pattern. Once we saw the breakout, we dragged that measuring tool to wherever we saw the breakout. And as you can see, the price target here was 2.3 cents. So we exceeded that a little bit, but that's probably why we've seen a little bit of a sell-off here on XCN. People just taking profits from the fact that we've had this double bottom pattern. But like I said, I do not think it's over at all here for XCN. In fact, I see quite a bit of evidence that Onyxcoin is going to be heading higher. Now, I'm going to start off with the shorter term here, the extreme short term. And what I'm seeing immediately here on the XCN chart is another consolidation. Of course, we've come up to the 2.4 cents level. We've retraced a bit, like I said, down to roughly the 2 cents level here. And we're following this sort of pattern. So this at the moment is actually a falling wedge, and this is a bullish chart pattern. If we do see a breakout to the upside, the price target then becomes this distance here. Of course, if we see a breakout over the next few hours, for example, here on Onyxcoin, we could expect to see 2.5 cents here on Onyxcoin, basically an 18% trade to the upside. So really short-term stuff. This is the 1 hour chart, so we could really see a breakout within the next few hours. Of course, maybe a nice trade if you are a shorter term trader, but for the longer term holders, maybe this doesn't get you too excited. But do not worry, because there's other chart patterns as well that I'm monitoring that are still yet to play out. The other one that we talked about from my previous videos was something that looked a little bit more like this. Of course, we were also monitoring something that looked a little bit like this here on the Onyxcoin price chart. And as you can see, we have these two trend lines facing downwards. Both of them have been tested on several occasions. This upper line here, the resistance, as you can see, a very strong resistance for the Onyxcoin price. It's been tested on 6 different occasions where the prices have come up to this resistance and bounced back down. We've got the support line down here that's been tested on 3 different occasions. And this, in my opinion, could still be in play. Of course, we can treat this as some sort of bull flag because it's occurred right after this parabolic move. And so what we've seen here on Onyxcoin is potentially a breakout from this larger chart pattern. And if the prices do respect this chart pattern, we could see the price targets here on Onyxcoin go all the way up to roughly 3.7 cents. That is the price target here from this bull flag type pattern. And of course, At the moment, we've already seen the breakout. So in my opinion, if it's going to be respected, it's only a matter of time before we see prices here on Onyxcoin hit 3.7 cents. Of course, if you guys are looking for a great place to trade any breakout here on Onyxcoin, then look no further than the MEXC exchange. This is the exchange that I use for all my trading, and for a limited time only, if you sign up using the link in the description down below, they'll give you a free $20 to get started. So if you want to make use of this offer, sign up using the link in that description down below. It takes less than a minute to do so. Do not forget to deposit some fiat or crypto into your MEXC account, and then they'll give you that $20 straight away. So you can, for example, buy some Onyxcoin or use it to trade any breakout. Of course, guys, as always, thank you for your support on this channel. Back into this video. So these are just two of the shorter term chart patterns here that I'm monitoring on Onyxcoin at the moment. And I think that this bullish move here on Onyxcoin is truly going to be supported by the fact that we are seeing an extremely bullish pump here on Bitcoin. Of course, Bitcoin and Onyxcoin are very closely correlated. Essentially, if we see Bitcoin doing well, the chances are we're going to be seeing Onyxcoin doing well. So if Bitcoin's bullish, Onyxcoin is also bullish. And essentially, we can see that since Bitcoin has made this pump here, you can see this long-term resistance here on Bitcoin's been keeping Bitcoin in this downtrend for the past 3 months. We saw a decisive breakout to the upside where prices on Bitcoin went from 84 to 94k. In that same time frame, it obviously allowed Onyxcoin to also break past its own resistance line here, and we've seen a nice little pump to the upside. Now, if we see the scenario, which, guys, by the way, I think is fairly likely, where Bitcoin starts to make its next leg up over the next few days, then I truly believe that we are going to see new all-time highs here on Bitcoin sooner rather than later. Some of the reasons for that is because we've seen this mega pump here on Bitcoin, flipping its bearish resistance and starting on this new bullish trend. We've also zoomed past this green box here, which was an important area for Bitcoin. It's basically like a massive resistance zone here, and Bitcoin just sliced straight through it, and it's come down to test it as a support. So we've essentially got a support resistance flip here on Bitcoin. And if we continue to head up, I think we should see, like I say, new all-time highs pretty soon. Now, if Bitcoin's going to be making new all-time highs, then the chances of Onyxcoin being bullish are much higher. So we could see these price targets getting met. And of course, here on Onyxcoin, if we break past this previous high here at 2.4 cents, then we see something even larger get triggered off. This is something that I noticed a little bit before here on Onyxcoin, but now with that high that we saw just yesterday at 2.4 cents, it confirms it a little bit more for me. And we're on the 1-day chart now, so this is a longer term thing here on Onyxcoin. But essentially, just have a look at this price action that we see here. Essentially, we've got this massive pump that occurred in January. We've had this 3-month-long consolidation. We saw this second pump taking it to this high here. And so if I just connect the highs here of Onyxcoin's price, you can see that we've got this resistance here, which perfectly encompasses the 3 pumps that we've had. Of course, we can also draw a support for this price action, basically starting with this pump that we had in January over here and just drawing that across to over here. So we've got this support line that's been tested quite a few times here. So we know this is a decent support for the price at this point. We've also got a resistance that's been tested perfectly on 3 different occasions. And we've got 2 lines that are roughly parallel to each other. And what we saw preceding this consolidation period was a massive parabolic move. So for all intents and purposes, we can also treat this as some sort of longer term bull flag. Now, it's not the most conventional one, but nonetheless, if we do see some sort of breakout from this pattern here, so let's say prices break past this resistance, what we want to see for a good breakout here on Onyxcoin is an increase in trading volume. So something like we saw over here, for example, that's going to give us a clean breakout and the best possible chance of success. We could be looking at a huge price target here on Onyxcoin. The distance of the parabolic move going into this bull flag in the first place becomes the price target. And of course, if we break out over the next few days, for example, this could give us a price target here on Onyxcoin of 14.8 cents, a 527% trade. So while it's not the most conventional looking bull flag, I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye on this resistance. If we get a clear breakout to the upside, then we have a fairly decent target to look forward to. So pretty exciting stuff here on Onyxcoin. And like I say, since I believe that Bitcoin is going to be making all-time highs sooner rather than later, that's going to give us the correct conditions here on Onyxcoin for the best possible chance of a huge pump like this, taking prices up to this level. So a very, very exciting prospect here for XCN. What's really nice as well about these bull flags is, generally speaking, they tend to happen quite quickly as well. So basically the gradient of the move going into this bull flag in the first place should be the kind of speed that we expect to see on a successful breakout. So essentially, wherever we see a breakout, it should at the maximum take only a week to get to this upper price target upon a successful breakout. So it should be a really, really quick thing. It shouldn't take months and months and months to get to. It should be another huge pump like what we saw in January. So this, guys, is why this really excites me. Of course, in the longer term as well. So this is still fairly shorter term stuff because we are quite close to the resistance, as you can see. In the longer term here on Onyxcoin, my price targets still follow these Fibonacci levels. This is what I've got my eye on at the end of the day. And of course, my main price targets, because XCN really respects these fib levels, as you can see, for example, XCN tests these fib levels as places of support and resistance on multiple different occasions. And so we can use these fib levels to predict where the price of XCN might be going in 2025. And my main targets here is this 1.414 fib, which is the previous all-time high here of XCN as well. So this, I think, will be a very important level. That's sitting at 17 cents here on Onyxcoin, not far away from the price target from this potential bull flag that we could be seeing. If we continue to break past those previous all-time highs, my most ambitious price target that we've got here for XCN is this 1.618 fib. And that tells us we could be going all the way to 32 to 33 cents. So two main targets for 2025 for you guys. Of course, as a summary for this video, my initial price targets here on XCN in the shorter term stem from that falling wedge that we could be seeing. That gives us a price target of 2.5 cents. We could also be seeing that bull flag from this pump here that we had in April. Again, the price target for that is 3.7 cents. And finally, a bit longer term here, that massive bull flag that we are seeing from that January pump that we saw, we could be looking at a price target here of 14.5 cents if we see a successful breakout. Of course, longer term, 17 cents to 33 cents. So of course, guys, hope this video has been helpful for you. Do let me know down in the comments if you are still holding your XCN. Don't forget, if you are holding your XCN and you're not yet staking, you could be earning passive income just by staking your XCN. At the moment, the APR for that is 31%, meaning that if you stake $1,000 worth of XCN, by the end of the year, you'll receive $310 completely passive. So be sure to check out that video that's popping up on your screen right now on how to stake your XCN. Otherwise, guys, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.